We're here in the beautiful Malta with Roger Veer, the founder of Bitcoin Cash, and of course very well known in the whole crypto industry. How are you doing, Roger?
Great, although I'd like to clarify, I'm not any more the founder of Bitcoin Cash than I am the founder of Bitcoin itself. So I'm just a fan and a user.
All right.
A big fan.
I thought you were a Satoshi, but no
comment.
No copyrights.
No copyright, no comment. Yeah.
All right. So how are you enjoying Malta? I mean, the weather is better than in London. I mean,
Certainly better weather than London. Yes.
all right. We're here in Malta. You actually have some news. You announced yesterday at the press conference that Bitcoin Cash is doing a type of local Bitcoin concept. Can you explain?
So something that's not possible on BTC at this point. Using smart contracts on Bitcoin Cash, you can have what we're calling a self-custodial blind escrow. And that's a mouthful. What the heck is a self-custodial blind escrow? Well, but let's say I have Bitcoin Cash and you want to buy it. This platform we've built allows anybody to buy and sell Bitcoin Cash in any country for any payment method with no AML, KYC stuff required from Bitcoin.com at all. The people are only required to abide by whatever their local regulations are in regards to that. So the way it works is I deposit the Bitcoin Cash into a special address. I receive whatever other payment from you. If everything goes smooth, we both agree to release the Bitcoin Cash to you. The deal is done. The other option is I deposit the Bitcoin Cash into the address. There's a problem with the payment. We both agree there was a problem, and we both release the Bitcoin Cash back to me. Where it gets really interesting is, let's say there's a dispute. You say you paid, I say you didn't, there's a problem. A third party using DataSig Verify, which is a special opcode that's only on Bitcoin Cash, BTC doesn't have it, whoever we designated at the time we set up the smart contract address can then act as an arbiter and basically perform the role of an escrow agent without ever touching the money in any way whatsoever. They never have custody of the funds. They never have keys to the funds. They're not assigned to the transaction. They don't have the ability to divert the funds to anybody at all. They don't even have the ability to send the money to me or to you. They only have the ability to enable you, without my permission, to send the money to you, or to give me the ability, without your permission, to send the Bitcoin Cash back to me. They never touch the funds in any way whatsoever. They're not a party to the transaction. The only people that are a party to the transaction are you and I, the ones transacting. Bitcoin.com never has the keys. Bitcoin.com never has access to it. And in fact, the entire platform is end-to-end encrypted. So we have an encrypted chat session. Nobody else in the entire world can even read what we're buying or selling about in there. So this is going to be a really, really big deal. You can sign up today at Local.Bitcoin.com. You can post your buy and sell ads on there today. The trading begins June 4th in honor of the Tiananmen Square massacre.
So you can actually deposit some fiat on Bitcoin.com and then.
So it's any payment method in any country. So PayPal, bank wire, a suitcase full of cash at Starbucks, any payment method in any country. Bitcoin Cash is the only thing that's doing the smart contracting. All the legacy payment methods are just whatever the normal bank is or that sort of thing.
Is this your dream? Is this your dream of peer-to-peer electronic cash, or is it coming somewhere?
I think it's a pretty fun piece of the puzzle because you can literally use any payment method in any country to buy or sell Bitcoin Cash, and there's not this centralized platform. There's no KYC documents required from Bitcoin.com at all because Bitcoin.com is not a party to the transaction in any way. We never touch the customer's money in any way whatsoever. We don't have access to the money. We don't touch it. We have nothing to do with it whatsoever. We just built the open source software that people can use for this.
And
not all of it's open source, but the important part of it is.
Cool. And is it like regulated? Is it like accepted in jurisdictions, or?
I'm sure it's regulated in lots of jurisdictions, but like lots of things, marijuana is illegal in all sorts of places, and people still do that. And I think good people disobey bad laws, and if a law is a bad one or a stupid one, people should disobey it.
Okay. I mean, marijuana is getting legalized in the U.S. It's getting there a little bit.
And alcohol used to be illegal in the U.S., and they poisoned people and threw people in jail and did all sorts of horrible things. And I think people philosophically should ask themselves, do politicians getting together and writing down words on a piece of paper and calling it a law, does that alter morality? Does that make drinking alcohol go from being bad to being okay? No, it's a bunch of nonsense. Either drinking alcohol is okay or it's not. Smoking marijuana is okay or it's not. Smoking crack is okay or it's not. The political laws don't make any difference whatsoever in regards to that.
I heard a podcast with Mike Novogratz on Off the Chain, and actually he said he's making a case for all the people that are in jail in the US because because of this bailouts, these bills are too high, like $600, $800 to get bailed out, and then there's this organization to get these prisoners, out, because it's the justice system in America. It's strange.
As someone who's been ground through the gears of the injustice system in America, I can say, it's really a big problem. And especially when you have laws against crimes with no victims. If there's no victim, there's no crime. Smoking a plant that makes you feel happy isn't a crime. And it's the police, the judges, and law enforcement officials that are locking people in jail for smoking a plant that makes them feel happy. It's those prosecutors and police that are the bad people that are committing crimes. It's not the people smoking the plant.
Right. Do you ever consider maybe perhaps visiting the U.S., or it's like a no-go?
I can go to the U.S. anytime I want, and I was there last Christmas. So.
Oh, okay. So it's no problem, actually.
No problem. There's a rumor going around on the internet that I can't go there, but that's not true. I can go anytime I want.
Okay.
I have a 10-year multiple entry visa. I can go there anytime I want for the next 8.5 years until it expires.
You still have American citizenship, or?
No. I have a visa to go to America. I'm not a U.S. citizen anymore.
All right.
Yeah.
Cool. So the plans for Bitcoin Cash. You have this new thing, Local.Bitcoin. You can exchange Bitcoin Cash peer-to-peer without actually, a third party. What are the other plans? Because there was this hard fork, another one. There were some bugs, or there was some hiccups during that. Can you tell something about it?
So the hard fork itself went perfectly smooth in terms of the hard fork. But there was some other person out there who doesn't like peer-to-peer cash for the world, and they had figured out basically how to make maybe a poison transaction is the right way. So it was a transaction that passes the first step of the validation, but not the final step of inclusion in a block. And they waited for months in order to use that, and they launched that attack at the time of the hard fork. And so the hard fork itself didn't have any problem, but the attack happening at the same time was specifically done to try and make it look like the hard fork itself had a problem. But the community came together, boom, boom, boom. They got it taken care of within like half an hour or so, and there wasn't any disruption at all to the Bitcoin Cash network. It went really, really smooth in spite of the attack.
Was it like a learning point? Like, okay, maybe the network isn't as robust as expected? I mean,
I think it's a learning point that there's people out there in the world that hate peer-to-peer electronic cash, and there's people that don't want people to have access to peer-to-peer electronic cash, and there's a lot of petty people on the internet that are trying to stop it, and then there's a lot of diabolical people out there in the world, and the fact that we're being attacked shows that we're building something useful for the world.
All right. Do you have any idea what kind of direction this coming from, these attacks, or?
I don't know, but there was $150 million worth of shorts on Bitfinex, or at least they borrowed $150 million worth of Bitcoin Cash, I assume, to short the market. All those people didn't make any money, and they lost a bunch of money. And I made a fortune. I made tens of thousands of dollars doing the lending on that, so I earned the interest. So thank you to all the shorters of Bitcoin Cash out there. So you paid for my whole trip to Malta and then some.
Don't short Bitcoin Cash.
Don't short Bitcoin Cash. It's peer-to-peer cash for the world, and it's only going to get more popular. We have 2 new awesome apps. Have you heard about our new awesome apps?
Yeah, tell.
Bitcoin Cash Register allows anybody to accept Bitcoin Cash at any physical business in a non-custodial manner. It can go right from the app. It goes directly to the owner's wallet or the exchange deposit address or to whatever address you want. It's called Bitcoin Cash Register. It's available today on Android. It's available in Apple iTunes Store or whatever as soon as Apple approves it. So maybe today, maybe tomorrow. We've already submitted it. And then the other one is the awesome Badger Wallet, available today for Android, available for Apple as soon as Apple approves it. Maybe today, maybe tomorrow, very soon. We've already submitted it. It allows you to send and receive Bitcoin Cash-based tokens with anyone anywhere in the world. So Badger Wallet and Bitcoin Cash Register are live on Android today and are live on Apple as soon as Apple gets around to approving them. So hopefully this week.
Yeah, I went to a Bitcoin Cash hackathon, and I think one of the strong points at still is the developer community in Bitcoin Cash. Yeah? I mean, you still have quite a strong community of devs.
Yeah, we have an incredibly strong community of developers. If you go on the Telegram channels for the SLP tokens, there's hundreds of developers talking around the clock about all that. Cash Shuffle is an amazing fungibility tool on Bitcoin Cash. If you go to cashshuffle.com, you can download a client that shuffles up your Bitcoin Cash and gives it more fungibility. And we're building that in directly into the Bitcoin.com wallet, so everybody will be able to have privacy with their Bitcoin Cash. the amount of stuff that's available when you don't have an artificial restriction on the block size is amazing, and we're seeing all the developers realizing that, and that's why they're building on Bitcoin Cash.
And what's essential your dream? I mean, what is it like? Is it like Satoshi white paper said, okay, electronic peer-to-peer cash for the largest group ever, like world population, or?
Yeah, my dream is permissionless peer-to-peer cash for the world, and it doesn't matter what it's called. It just has to work. It has to be fast, cheap, reliable, and permissionless for the entire world, and that's what we're trying to build, and we're spending millions of dollars to do that, and we're going to succeed.
And is it possible to have some agnostic view on the different chains? Like, can different chains work together? Like the thing that Cosmos is trying, or other chains are trying to actually connect the chains.
Sure, one of the biggest problems in crypto is the tribalism. People think, oh, my coin's better than this coin and this and that. Like, use anything that works. If it's useful, use it. And there's lots of useful chains out there. Ethereum is amazing. Dash is amazing. Monero is amazing. Zcash is amazing. Bitcoin Cash is amazing. You can spend it at more than 100,000 shops on the online. And then in Slovenia, you can spend it at hundreds of physical merchants. I checked out at the front desk of the Sheraton Hotel in Slovenia yesterday. At the front desk, I paid in Bitcoin Cash with my Bitcoin.com wallet to the the reception person working at the desk. Like, amazing.
Yeah, it's a crypto-minded country.
It sure is.
Of course, a few recent developments. I mean, we had this whole debate about hodl out and Craig White on Twitter, and Craig White was actually suing people on Twitter. Peter McCormack got sued. Some other people.
Vitalik Buterin sued as well. Yeah, Vitalik and myself, of course. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Of course. And I mean, how do you explain these actions? How do you react on these actions?
I react by paying to defend myself in court in the UK. Looking forward to winning. I'm sure I'm going to win, and then Craig Wright has to pay all of my legal fees for the defense as well. So that's where we're at. So Craig, you're wasting everybody's time and retarding the rate of economic growth of the entire world by wasting everybody's time. So please stop. Go and live your life and do something else, but don't bother the rest of us.
Yeah, I mean, you met a few times. Did you had a collaboration together, or maybe you can verify that for the wider public?
Yeah, we've met a couple of times, like probably around 5 times total in the world. I had dinner with him maybe 2 or 3 times. He's a really, really smart guy and a really, really difficult guy to get along with. And I wish him good luck with everything but his lawsuits and his copywriting and his trolling and his troublemaking. I wish he'd just go and enjoy life with his family and leave the rest of us alone. That's where I'm at this point.
So do you think, is it any use to claim that someone is Satoshi? Is it any...
I think Satoshi should just be an idea at this point, and the idea is peer-to-peer cash for the world. And that's what Bitcoin was, and that's what Bitcoin Cash is.
Do you have any ideas, any clues? Do you think it's a group or individual, or?
I really don't know, and I really don't care at this point. I think it's the idea that is more important. And whoever or wherever they are, thank you for inventing Bitcoin. If Craig Wright played any role in it whatsoever, thank you for the role that he played in it. But man, you're causing a lot of trouble now, so stop.
Right. Can we have a look on the market, like
Sure.
the prices on the market? I mean, we still see a lot of manipulation, I think, or like we had this flash crash last week on Bitstamp on the Bitcoin chart. It took all the other coins with it. What's your take on that? Like the whole centralized exchanges and all the manipulation that's going on.
I think the price is just a side effect of the adoption in commerce. So if you want the long-term price to go up, you should be focusing on the adoption of cryptocurrencies in commerce, and that's exactly what we're doing at Bitcoin Cash, and that's why we've seen Bitcoin Cash have the biggest run-up of the major cryptocurrencies in the last couple of weeks.
Do you think it's still undervalued?
I think it's still really undervalued in comparison with BTC. It's not even close. BTC is basically unusable for payments. It costs $5 per transaction to use. Like, nobody's going to use that. Bitcoin Cash is a fraction of a penny, so I'm really, really bullish on Bitcoin Cash.
There are some second layer solutions like Lightning Network, and people are quite bullish on it, but...
The next time you talk to one of those people that are super bullish on it, pull out your phone and ask them to set you up with a Lightning wallet in which you're in control of your own funds and your own keys. you can't do it in less than a day. Whereas in Bitcoin Cash, you can do it in less than 30 seconds. So the proof is in the actual pudding there.
So perhaps we can do like a few. What are your favorite projects? I mean, you mentioned a few, but besides Bitcoin Cash, what are your pickings in the market right now? Do you invest yourself actually, or?
I hold a nice basket of cryptocurrencies. Don't put all of your funds into one basket, right? That's a stupid thing. So of course I'm a big fan of Ethereum. It's enabled the entire ICO market and it enabled any investor to invest in any entrepreneur anywhere in the world. That's amazing. That's awesome.
How do you see their future? I mean, they're working on Serenity. They're working on new updates and proof of stake.
So I don't have as much time to follow the Ethereum developments each day as I would like because I'm busy on Bitcoin Cash, but the Ethereum community, as far as I can tell, has an amazing group of passionate, smart people. And when you have a bunch of super smart, super passionate people together trying to do something, there's a really good chance they're going to accomplish a lot. And I see that in both the Ethereum and the Bitcoin Cash communities.
And how do you see proof of work, proof of stake? Some people say proof of work is more a capitalistic free market solution because if I buy a big stake in the proof of stake chain, then I can hold it the rest of my life and there's no competition.
Yeah, I haven't put a whole lot of thought into that, so I don't have a real strong opinion, but I'm very cautious or worried about trying something new when there's billions of dollars on the line. And I'm not aware of any real successful coins that have been using proof of stake for everything. And being the first can be really difficult and things might go wrong. So I'm a little bit concerned for Ethereum on that front, to be honest.
Besides Ethereum, the privacy coins.
I love all the privacy coins, yeah. So the Moneros, the Dash, the Zcash, the Zcoin, like there's a bunch of them out there. And Bitcoin Cash has Cash Shuffle, like go to cashshuffle.com, like that's a big deal. And that's something else, again, that BTC used to have, and when the blocks became full, it became impractical to have that on BTC, and that's another thing that Bitcoin Cash is awesome. Cashshuffle.com, try it. Coming to the Bitcoin.com wallet very soon as well.
All right. And what person do you actually look up to outside of the blockchain and crypto world, or
a non-crypto person?
Yeah.
I guess my biggest intellectual idol would be a man named Murray Rothbard that wrote a bunch of books on economics that I read when I was a young man and really shaped my view of the world. So a great one is The Ethics of Liberty by Murray Rothbard, or Man, Economy, and State is another great one. And I think if I had to choose a single thinker that influenced my view of the world the most, it would be Murray Rothbard.
All right. Thank you very much, Roger, for your time. Hope to see you in Amsterdam. We have a Dutch blockchain week coming up, so always welcome to join. And yeah.
Maybe I'll
Thanks
see you in
a lot.
Amsterdam. And if you like this content, subscribe to this channel, share this video on your own social media, and help set up a friend with a Bitcoin Cash wallet so they can see how amazing it is. See everyone next time.